I'm John Tenza, and I'm going to help you make tens of thousands of extra commission dollars. Pretty cool, huh? Now, there's a guy that you might have heard of. His name is Bond, James Bond. Did you hear that? What was the guy's name?
Bond, James Bond.
Okay, that's his brand. Okay, I just said my name's Tenza. I'm going to make you tens of thousands of extra dollars. Did you see how I did like a little memory hook? I made it real easy to remember me. Because what will happen is the people that weren't here will come up to you tomorrow and you say, man, this guy was really good. What was his name? I don't know, some guy with a red tie. And now you can say tens of thousands of extra dollars. All righty? I want you to get this, okay? I'm all about results, okay? Everything I have, all the stuff I do is all about results. So when you come to somebody's home and you set that down in front of you and they're looking at you, what do they sing? Do you see how this is like a silent salesperson? It's instantly selling you that you're here to cause, to generate, to produce results. Okay? And you don't have to buy anything. Okay? So just calm down. You don't have to have the best material in the real estate industry. Well, everyone got quiet. This is going to be a rough crowd. You don't have to buy anything, all right? But I'm going to share with you everything that I have. Okay? So, no holds barred, whatever you want, ask away. If you have real life situations, ask for those. Now, I have been teaching and sharing since 1990, and I found that real estate agents, managers, brokers, their success ratios go way up when they adopt this concept. And that concept is yes or yes. Now, if I give you yes or no, so do you like the home? What do you think? Is it possible they could say, no, I don't like the home? Is it possible? What do you think? Well, we want to think it over. Okay? So are you ready to take action? No, we want to think it over. Well, you're giving us a lot of information, but we want to think it over. Did you ever hear that? We want to think it over? Mm-hmm. Okay, if you've not been in the real estate business for 5 minutes, okay, you're going to hear that. Your buyers want to think it over. They're wetting their pants. They're so excited. They're in the right home. And what do you want to do? We want to think it over. Okay, you got a seller. You go through your presentation. You tell them all the wonderful things that Vision Realty Centers has to offer, all the wonderful stuff you're going to do. And then you get to the end, and they say, "Well, thank you very much for coming out. You shared a lot of information. You're really better than the other person, but we're going to think it over." Okay, if that happens, did you give them an option for yes or yes, or did no show up? Did no sneak in? Okay, so we want to get rid of no. And when someone says no to you, okay, you want to see it like this, K-N-O-W. They need to know a little bit more to go ahead with you. You got that, everybody? See, if you don't believe that you make a profound difference, that they're better off by working with you, then you deserve to be poor. But if you believe that you're going to take good care of them, that you're going to keep them informed, that you're going to really be a great advocate for them, then you have every right to ask them to work with you. Got that? So, in real estate, I see a lot of stuff. One of the things I see is low self-esteem. Now, if you're newer in the business, it's like, oh, I don't know about this stuff. Oh, I'm working with a doctor. Oh my gosh, I'm going to this home. This is a big home, man. Someday I'd like to win the lottery and win here. Could any of those situations, scenarios cause you to have low self-esteem kick in? Yes. And you want to get this, all right? We were programmed by a lot of different things when we were little that we weren't good enough. And it didn't stop when we were little. When you watch TV and a commercial comes on, guess what it tells you? On some level, you're not good enough. Okay? You're fat. Okay? You don't wear the right shoes, the right clothes, you're not in, you don't have the right phone. You get what I'm saying? They're selling out of fear and low self-esteem. So when you get that, we've kind of been ingrained in that. And I don't know if anybody else here went to Catholic school, but I'm a Catholic school survivor. In Catholic school, a lot of that has to do with guilt. So they guilt you into stuff, you want to be a good boy. Yes, I want to be a good boy. Okay? I'll give up my identity, but I'll be a good boy. I'll do what you want. And so we grow up, and people that love us, big people, they tell us when we're little, don't talk to strangers. Because they love us. They want us to come back. But we grow up after hearing, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers, don't talk. And then we get big. And we come into real estate, and we come over to see John Eckerle, and we say, John, what do you want me to do? And he says, you need to go out and talk to strangers. And you're like, oh my God, I don't think I like that, John. What else you got for me? Well, pick up the phone and call some people. Call people. Ooh, I hate when they do that to me. You see what I'm saying? Now, where did that come from? I mean, think about it. Do you think the plastic phone cares if you call somebody? They don't care. You can pay every single month with a phone bill and never make a single call and the phone doesn't care. You can make 1,000 calls and the phone doesn't care. Do you get what I'm saying? It's plastic. It doesn't care. So if the phone doesn't care if we pick it up and use it to make some calls, then what's getting in the way of us picking it up and use it? Do you see that? It's the stuff that we bring with us. Okay, and I like to affectionately call that turds. So we carry around these petrified turds. And see, we're not just like happy with our own turd. We want to share our battle scars. So we come up to people. Did you hear what happened to me? And then I tell you, oh, I just had this deal fall apart. I just had this squirrely buyer. I just had these people. You know, I drove out there, and you know, and then oh, you're new in the business, huh? Let me tell you what happened. I'm just warning you because I don't want that to happen to you. And then somebody writes like 3 listings on the board. What does that person do with the big turd? They run up to him. Oh, don't burn yourself out. Don't burn yourself out. I'm flaming on. What are you talking about, burning myself out? Isn't that interesting? So what I'm telling you is, when someone comes up to you, and I know that they don't work here with your company, but if in fact they did, and they come up to you and they give you a woe is me story, do you want to see my scar? Just tell them, flush. All right, turn to the person sitting next to you, look him in the eye and say, flush. And what's cool is if they start going off on a pity party, all I got to do is go like that, they'll get it. All right? Now, don't be doing this at your seller's kitchen table. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you need to flush. All right. Yes or yes? So, what's your first name?
Carl.
Carl. All right. So, Carl, you want to be a buyer or a seller?
I'll be a seller.
Great. All right. I come over to Carl's house. I've never met Carl before. We've never met. We haven't practiced this, right? This is like real.
No.
Okay. I'm going to ask Carl a series of questions. I'm going to introduce myself. Hey, Carl, how are you doing? John Tenza from Vision Realty Centers. I'm just curious. What's going on that caused you to think about selling your home at this time? Listen to how many questions I ask him.
Okay.
And I want you to
I'm
get
gonna make this complicated for you now.
Well, yeah, I want you to.
I hope so.
Listen, the reason I called on you is because when I asked how long you've been in the business, you said for a while. I didn't want a new person. I wanted somebody for a while.
Well, my wife is pregnant with quintuplets.
Okay.
And, you know, the place is just too small for us. Plus, you know, we have 4 dogs, and I kind of messed up the basement and the garage and pretty much every room in the house as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just really need to get a new place.
Okay. So you'd rather move than clean it up?
Kind of, yes.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to say that to him right off the bat, but don't you think I'm thinking it?
Completely fictional story.
Okay? And don't... So you want to get this, all right? Even though he's telling you this thing, it's not far off. There was a house in Lincoln Park, Michigan that was virtually that situation. And when you went down the stairs in the basement, they let their dogs dump everywhere. And it just stunk to high heaven. And, you know,
I've seen it.
we've listed homes like that. You've listed homes like that, okay? But you do that in certain ground rules. So, Carl, listen. I get that you love your dogs and you want to make a move and all that kind of stuff. I'm just curious. Now watch this. Listen to the questions. Are you serious about selling?
Pretty serious.
So if someone came in and they had allergies or they had some kind of sinus thing where like the odor that's here was like really offensive to them, would you be wanting, yes or yes, to take less for your home, or would you be willing to kind of clean that up so we can get you more?
Well, seems like I'd like to clean that up.
Do you see that, everybody? What did I just get him to do?
Yes.
I got him to say yes, but I also forwarded the action. I got him to clean it up. But if I had said, you know, this thing really stinks, you're going to have to clean this up, guess what he would have said? I think I'm going to get another agent. See, so I want you to get tactful. You can get anybody to do anything you want as long as you're respectful to that person. Okay? Now, if he doesn't want to clean it up, do I have to take the listing? No. And if he wants to overprice it and not clean it up, do I really want this listing? No. Okay? So, Carl, let's get serious here. If you really want me to market your home and get it sold and get you into a home that works better for you and your upcoming family, we need to get serious and take advantage of this market. Let me tell you why. There's a certain number of homes up for sale right now, and they're competing for a select number of buyers. And I got to tell you right now, those other sellers, they want your buyers. And they hope you don't clean your home up. Because when the buyers come in and see your home, they're going to run and buy the other one. So we're going to sell somebody's home here this evening. We're either going to sell your home through my marketing program, or you're not going to do what I coach you around doing, and your home will end up being used to sell somebody else's. Which would you prefer, selling your home or somebody else's? Yes or yes. Do you see this, everybody? Isn't this cool? It's like, wow, God bless you. Okay? All right, so Carl made that up, so you can do that as I call on you also. All right, so you don't have to like give me a real life scenario, but if you want to, we'll take those too. All right, let me ask you a question. In the short time that I've been with you, do you get the feeling that I know what I'm doing? All right? When you leave here today, you've got a 9-page handout, a workbook, a resource that you can go back through and look at your notes and look at the verbiage I've given you, the dialogues, the success strategies, and practice those. All right? Let me ask you a question. All big people here. When you popped out of your mom, did you pop out walking around and talking to people? Or did it take some practice?
It was practice.
Right? And when little kids start walking for the first time, do they just say, hey, watch me, man, I'm going to dance, I'm cool? Or do they like fall and they try to get up and they fall and then they figure out, hey, there's a couch or a chair, I'll use this thing to help balance, and then they run out of couch and they fall. And then eventually they make a couple of steps and everyone celebrates and they rejoice. It's like, hey, they walked across the room, am I right? Okay, and that's exactly how you learned how to dance and how to ride a bike and how to kiss and how to do everything else. It all comes with practice. So to think you're going to get this stuff today and by osmosis it's all going to be in there, no, not going to happen. You got to decide this is important. And when you decide that it's important, and when you know what to say, and you say it in a way where it really touches people in a powerful way, guess what? They pay you a lot of money. A lot of money. So I'm very, very clear that there are people sitting in this room that will take some of the ideas, some of the strategies we're sharing, and will run with them. And you'll run all the way to the bank. And if you've never made 50, 60, 70, 100 grand or more, you can do that in this real estate business. Okay, you can definitely do it. And I'm going to take you back to a story when I first got in this business. Okay, in 6 months I was nicknamed Mr. Lister. I listed so many homes, I listed so many FSBOs and expireds. I bought a couple of national franchises with the profits I made from that. I had so much fun listing FSBOs, I named my dog FSBO. I had 7 rental properties, all from profits from where people said, we don't want to hire you, we don't want to pay you. You know what they really were saying? Remember, I'm from Taylor, I don't spell very well. When they said no, I heard K-N-O-W. They need to know a little bit more, okay? And then I developed this technique. Well, of course you wouldn't hire me, you don't know what I do. Why in the world would you hire anybody that showed up on your front porch? Unless you knew they were very good at what they do. So I'm just kind of curious, Ron, if in fact you were to hire a realtor, what would you want to make sure they did for you? And now guess what? The seller is telling me what they're looking for. Guess what I can tell them I can do? They just gave me on a silver platter what they're looking for. Isn't that cool? They gave me the combination to their lock. And all I did was ask a question. Isn't that amazing? Okay? So some of you have been working way too hard. Anyway, I got in the business. I was doing pretty good. And I went over to this one guy's house to put his home up for sale. And then back in the day, we kind of figured out how much he could afford, and I was helping him buy another house. And when this guy told me how much money he made, it was a lot more than I was making. And I got in my car and I was like, I can't believe that jerk's making that much money. I mean, because this guy was a clown. And that day before I got home, guess what I made a decision in my car as I was driving home? If that guy can make that kind of money, I'm going to make that kind of money. And you know what? I instantly gave myself a raise because all of a sudden I started selling more houses. I started listing more homes. I started listing a higher price bracket. I stopped cutting my commission. Do you hear what I'm saying, everybody? It's like, if that guy can make that kind of money, I'm going to make that much. Because I'm at least as good as he is. Okay, do you got that? So was it that all overnight all my skills improved, or was it that I made a change in my head and in my heart? I'm going to do more. And you know what?